bye week isn't just about resting out. It's about reflection. It's about recalibration. And for teams like the Buffalo Bills, contenders on paper, but inconsistent on the field, it's about honest self-scouting. So let's flip the perspective. Let's look at the Bills as if we were prepping to face them on Sunday. Where are their tendencies? Where are their strengths? And most importantly, how do you beat them? Buffalo comes into this hypothetical matchup with a 4-victory, 2-defeat record, sitting second in the AFC East. If the playoffs started today, they'd enter as the 5th seed in the AFC. Not bad, but far from the dominant powerhouse many expect with Josh Allen under center. And that's really where we begin, with the quarterback who defines this entire operation. Josh Allen is the reigning NFL MVP for a reason. At 29 years old, 6'5", 240 pounds, he's the ultimate modern quarterback weapon. Physically imposing, armed with a bazooka for an arm, and mobile enough to gash defenses as a runner, Allen is the prototype. But as dominant as he can be, the inconsistencies have been noticeable this season, especially when it comes to the deep ball. Over the last 3 weeks, his deep passing has taken a sharp dive. Just 4 completions on 13 attempts, 2 interceptions, a passer rating of only 22.8. Defenders are baiting him. Safeties aren't biting like they used to. And even when Allen finds a window, less than 40% of those deep shots have been catchable. That shift in deep ball effectiveness has forced the Bills to reimagine their offense. This season, Allen is throwing to his first read just 63% of the time, ranking near the bottom of the league. He's holding the ball longer, nearly 2.8 seconds on average, and that's giving defenders a better shot to collapse the pocket. The pressure rate he's facing? A staggering 40% of dropbacks. The turnover-worthy throw rate is creeping up to over 3%, which means he's playing a little more reckless or a little more desperate than we're used to seeing. And yet, he's still producing. 11 touchdowns, just 4 picks, over 230 passing yards per game, and a completion percentage over 68. That tells you everything about Allen. The volatility is there, but so is the upside. If you're game planning for Buffalo, Josh Allen is both the danger and the opportunity. He can win a game on his own. He can lose it the same way. Behind Allen is an offense that's evolved into something a bit unexpected. Under offensive coordinator Joe Brady, this is now a run-heavy team. Yep, you heard that right. The Buffalo Bills, the franchise that used to spread it out and chuck it, now run the ball on nearly half of their offensive plays. That's the 3rd highest run rate in the entire league. And they're not just doing it for balance. They're doing it because they're actually good at it. James Cook is the catalyst. He's become one of the most dynamic running backs in the NFL. Over 100 carries already through 6 games. He's the engine of this offense. He's got elite vision and thrives on cutback lanes. That's where the Bills kill you. It's not just downhill power or outside zone. It's the vision, the footwork, the patience. Cook can bounce plays backside and explode into open grass. If you're going to stop Buffalo, your corners have to get involved in a run game. Backside contain matters more than ever. And if you over-pursue or lose gap discipline, James Cook will make you pay. Behind him is a physical presence in rookie Ray Davis, though his touches have been limited. And Ty Johnson sees the field mostly on 3rd downs. He's the guy they trust in pass protection. But make no mistake, Cook is the guy, and Josh Allen is option number 2 in the run game. Allen has nearly 50 carries of his own, and unlike most quarterbacks, a lot of those are designed. As for the pass catchers, Buffalo has gone with a committee approach after moving on from their former alpha. No more Stephon Diggs. No more funneling targets to one guy. Now it's Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Josh Palmer, and Dalton Kincaid. No true WR1. Just a bunch of guys who rotate through roles. Coleman is the big-bodied ex-receiver who'll win some 50-50 balls, but isn't efficient. Palmer is the best route runner in the group. Shakir is a slot guy who turns short catches into big gains. The Bills want to keep defenses honest by spreading it around. It's an everybody-eats mentality. But the real pass game weapon? That's tight in Dalton Kincaid. This is his 3rd year, and he's finally living up to that first-round potential. After a frustrating second season where injuries and chemistry issues slowed him down, he's now blossoming. He's got elite hands, run-after-catch ability, and knows how to find the soft spots in zone. Dawson Knox still starts, mostly in line, but his job now is to block and let Kincaid operate in space. They also mix in rookie Jackson Haw, an elite blocker who has flashed as a sneaky receiver. Buffalo's tight end room is deep and versatile. That depth extends to the offensive line as well, which has quietly become one of the better units in the league. Both tackles, Deion Dawkins on the left and Spencer Brown on the right, are playing at a high level. Connor McGovern has made a smooth switch from guard to center. David Edwards is solid at left guard. The only real weak link is O'Cyrus Torrence at right guard, a second-year player who's powerful in the run game, but still a liability in pass protection. If you're attacking this line, he's the one to target. Simulated pressures, twists, and delayed blitzes through his gap can lead to chaos. That's the blueprint. Stop the run, particularly the cutback, confuse Torrence in protection, and muddy up the middle of the field. Allen thrives when he's got clear windows and time to create. But take that away, force him to hold the ball, and now he's scrambling, freelancing, and taking risks. The other vulnerability? Allen's vision across the middle. Buffalo likes to hit quick sit routes and crossers. If you can disguise coverages and have a linebacker or safety hanging in that underneath zone, you can either jump the route or force a check down. And if you're bringing pressure, simulate it. Rush 4, but not the 4 they expect. Make Allen think post-snap. That's where he's still prone to the occasional mistake. And one last wrinkle. This offense loves to overload formations. They'll go heavy to one side, force the defense to shift, and then hit the backside with a blitz-beating throw or an outside run. So as a defense, pressure away from the strength. Blitz the weak side, send your nickel off the edge, or rotate your coverage late. That's how you create confusion. And confusion is the only way to beat this Bills offense when it's clicking. So, are the Bills an offensive juggernaut? Not quite, but they're dangerous. They've got an MVP quarterback, a top-tier run game, and enough playmakers to stretch you horizontally and vertically. But they're also inconsistent, top-heavy at quarterback, and vulnerable in key spots along the interior line and secondary receiver depth. It's not about shutting them down completely. It's about getting them out of rhythm. If you can keep Allen from getting into his flow, contain Cook on the cutbacks, and win the mental chess match with Joe Brady, then you've got a real shot to control the pace. Because make no mistake, this Bills team can score. But they can also stall. They can look like world beaters one week and lost the next. And that's what makes them such a fascinating and beatable team. Now let's flip to the other side of the ball, the Buffalo Bills defense. A unit once feared for its structure, discipline, and communication, but now struggling to find consistency. This is a group that, on paper, should be among the best in the league. But on the field, it's been a different story. They're giving up nearly 23 points per game, middle of the pack in almost every key metric. Against the run, one of the worst. Against the pass, better but still far from elite. And as with everything in football, it all starts up front. The Bills' defensive line still has talent. Greg Rousseau and Joey Bosa start at defensive end, and both can create pressure. Rousseau is a long, athletic edge who plays the run exceptionally well. Bosa, when healthy, is still capable of being a nightmare for offensive tackles. But health has always been his biggest challenge. And even now, with Bosa staying on the field more consistently, he's not quite the same game wrecker we saw during his prime years. Behind them, A.J. Epineza provides depth, and Michael Hocht is now back from suspension. He adds speed and versatility, especially in sub-packages. They've got bodies, no doubt, but what's been missing is consistent dominance. Inside, Ed Oliver remains the heartbeat. A top 10 pick with elite quickness, he can single-handedly disrupt a play if you don't account for him. He's undersized but uses that to his advantage, slipping through gaps, attacking upfield, and blowing up run plays before they develop. Next to him is Daquan Jones, a steady veteran who handles the dirty work. He doesn't rack up stats, but he's reliable and physical. Rookie Deion Walker has also been a pleasant surprise. Drafted in the 4th round, he's shown flashes of high-level ability, especially as a disruptor. But like most young defensive tackles, he can get washed out at times and still has to learn how to hold his ground against double teams. With Larry Ogunjobi now in the rotation after serving his suspension, the Bills have a good blend of youth and experience on the interior. They just need it to all click at the same time. At linebacker, things start to fall apart a bit. Terrell Bernard is the starter in the middle, but he's not playing at the level Buffalo hoped. Known more for his coverage ability than his physicality, Bernard often struggles when he's asked to play downhill. He doesn't have the frame or strength to consistently take on blocks and fit the run with power. He processes quickly, no doubt, and you'll see him flash by shooting gaps or flying to the ball, but there's a boom or bust nature to his game. Beside him is Matt Milano, or at least what's left of him. Milano used to be one of the best playmakers at the position in the NFL. Now, after multiple injuries, he's a step slower and no longer the force he once was. They've mixed in Shaq Thompson, another veteran who brings experience, but he's also battled injuries and inconsistency. Dorian Williams, a young and athletic linebacker, sees spot duty. He's fast and physical, but still raw and prone to making the wrong read. And that lack of stability in the second level shows up in the numbers. Buffalo is allowing nearly 6 yards per carry. 10% of all rushing plays against them are going for 15 yards or more. They're getting bullied up front, and they're missing tackles at an alarming rate. When your linebackers aren't finishing plays and your defensive tackles are getting moved, you've got a serious problem. That's where this defense is most vulnerable, right in the teeth of it. And teams know it. The book on Buffalo is simple. Run the ball right at them until they prove they can stop it. The issues don't stop there. The secondary, once the backbone of this defense, is no longer elite. Christian Benford, their top corner, is having a down year. He's been reliable in the past, a technician who rarely makes mental mistakes. But this season, with chaos all around him, his play has dropped. He's giving up more completions, more yards, and he just doesn't look as confident. Across from him is Tre'Davious White, a familiar name who's also a shadow of his former self. After several significant injuries, White has lost a step, and opposing offenses are targeting him. He's smart. He plays with good leverage, but he can't run with top receivers anymore, and he struggles to recover when beaten early in the route. In many ways, he's become a liability. In the slot, Taron Johnson is still holding it down, though not with the same consistency he showed last year. He was one of the league's best nickel corners a season ago, but this year has brought more ups and downs. He's still physical, still aggressive, but he's also been beaten on option routes and crossers more than usual. It feels like every player on this defense has taken a small step back, and together, those small steps have created big problems. The safety tandem has also become a sore spot. Taylor Rapp, once known for his reliability in tackling, has had a rough year. Missed tackles, bad angles, late reactions, it's all on tape. His running mate, Cole Bishop, is a young player with potential, but also with flaws. He's flashed big playability. An interception here, a tackle for loss there, but also makes the kinds of mistakes that come with inexperience. Misjudged routes, bad pursuit angles, blown assignments. The Bills' safeties are not connected, and that creates massive windows for quarterbacks to exploit, especially in the middle of the field. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. Shockwaves are rippling through the NFL as the league has officially announced the cancellation of last night's highly anticipated matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. The news comes amid swirling controversy, with new footage allegedly proving what some are already calling one of the most blatant officiating scandals in recent memory. Fans and analysts alike are scrambling to make sense of the sudden reversal, which has thrown the playoff picture into chaos. According to insiders, the decision was not taken lightly. Sources close to the league claim that the new images show a series of questionable calls that heavily favored one team, sparking accusations of manipulation. Social media has exploded with clips showing disputed penalties, controversial touchdowns, and what appears to be a miscounted play clock, all fueling speculation that the integrity of the game was compromised. While the NFL has not explicitly labeled the events as cheating, the language used in the official statement suggests that the controversy reached a level impossible to ignore. The cancellation has sent fans into a frenzy. Bills supporters have expressed outrage, demanding a replay or at least a detailed investigation, while Patriots fans are calling for calm, insisting that the league is overreacting. Sports talk shows have lit up with heated debates, analysts dissecting frame by frame, and commentators questioning whether this could become a precedent for handling disputed games in the future. Betting markets are also reeling, with millions potentially affected by the sudden nullification of the contest. Despite the uproar, league officials remain tight-lipped. No replacement date has been set, and speculation is rife that internal disciplinary action against officials may be imminent. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories are flourishing online, ranging from intentional bias to hidden technology influencing the outcome. One thing is certain. Whatever the truth, this canceled game has already cemented itself as one of the most talked about and controversial events in NFL history. Fans will be watching closely in the coming days, hoping for answers, replays, and perhaps a resolution that restores faith in the sport they love. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.